you guys for coming to join us today. My name is Kevin Grundy. Most of you guys have met me by now. I am specialised in Western herbal medicine and I am an independent distributor. Today's talk is talking about supporting your liver in conjunction with 90 for Life. So supporting your liver. The liver is the largest organ in our body and it sits just under the rib cage to the right hand side of the abdomen. So if you're looking at it, okay, so it's just under here, under your rib cage. Sometimes you can be a bit slightly sore, you can just feel the bottom of it. So the liver is responsible for breaking down the carbohydrates, making glucose and detoxing the body. It stores nutrients and creates bile, which is necessary to digest and absorb the nutrients. Plus it regulates the level of hormones and substances in the body, such as cholesterol. So the liver is a very complex thing. It's important as the heart as far as keeping us healthy. And now it is a major important organ, but it gets so missed. Everybody focuses on their digestion and cutting out their gluten and, and eating well and exercise. But the real culprit in our health is our liver. We really need to look at it. It's the body's primary filtration system. It's converting toxins into waste. It's cleaning your blood. It's metabolizing nutrients, medications if you're on medications. So it's a powerhouse. It's doing a lot of things. One role it does, it helps balance the sex hormones and thyroid hormones and other hormones in your body. So you can see it's a functioning organ with a lot to do. And when it's compromised, it has a chain reaction that just starts to affect other parts of our body. So liver overload is a common thing. Probably everybody gets that every day. So the liver is an incredible detoxifier. However, it requires some quality nutrients. So in the modern world, we are presented with many environmental toxins on a daily basis. Aren't we just, eh? They're going to disrupt our balance, our hormone balance. They're found in plastics, the PCBs and plastics. These are the man-made chemicals, and they turn into PHB, the BPA you find in water bottles. So when these water bottles get thrown away and they end up in our environment, in our sea, they get broken down. They enter our system. Normally our bodies would process these extra toxins for our liver, but due to the nutritional choice or bad lifestyles or the bad decisions we make, increase in stress levels and the load of the liver, such as alcohol and caffeine, it just gets compromised and it struggles. You can see, the pollutants are just the rubbish coming from what we consume. Those byproducts, the plastics, they enter our waterways. We end up eating the fish and all the foods that live on our waterways. And it's not just fish, it's all our plants and nutrients and our forests. They're all getting damaged. So, we're eating from this. So we've got to take a better care of our planet so we can look after ourselves. So why detoxification? Why is it essential for hormone health? Well, we have three phases. Phase one is breaking down fat-soluble nutrients. That's where your B vitamins and your A vitamins and your some of your herbs like your milk thistle. Then you have your second phase where it breaks down your water solubles. And that's a little bit harder to do. You've got to break down phase one before it gets down to phase two. And this is where we have a lot of problems. And of course, phase three, we're turning waste into the water area. So there are two main phases to the liver that works to detoxify and extract hormones from the body. For most people, the first phase of the liver works efficiently. As I said earlier, it's phase one, just breaking down the fat. It's the second phase that people struggle with. This means that the molecules pass through the first phase easily and they're backed up in the second phase. Okay, so now we're getting an accumulation effect. So the liver then recirculates the half detoxified chemicals broken down straight back into the body. You've heard me talk about this in many of my digestion talks and how this vicious cycle we have. So now we've got unbroken down hormones re-entering the bloodstream, going back through the system again. And so this is where we end up with these headaches, these mood cycles. There's this imbalance in our hormone. Okay, so we need to make sure our liver is properly functioning and breaking these hormones down effectively. If these half oxidized molecules are hormones, which a lot of them are most of the time, this contributes to hormone noise at a receptible level. So those are receptors, they end up getting confused and they're not quite sure what they're doing, and they end up giving an imbalance. So liver disease. So liver disease is a general term that refers to any condition that affects your liver. These conditions may develop for various reasons, but they can damage your liver to the point where it can have some severe impact on your health, on other parts, on other conditions, or if you have other conditions, how it can impact on them as well, because of the snowball effect and this chain reaction. So here we have a healthy liver, and we go for a fatty liver, and then it moves right through to the psoriasis of the liver. That's the fibrous tissue. So liver disease symptoms vary depending on the underlying cause. So, however, there are general symptoms that may indicate some form of liver disease, and you'll relate to some of these symptoms. So these symptoms include the yellowish of the eyes, dark urine, pale, bloodish black stools, swollen ankles, nausea, the vomiting, decreasing in appetite, ongoing fatigue, itchy skin, and easy bruising. Easy bruising is another one because it is the easiest to see. You know, if you find yourself constantly knocking yourself, but you don't think you're knocking yourself, but you're coming up on all these bruises, just, you know, so have a look. You know, your liver could be having a few issues. Swollen ankles, that's a no-brainer. That says whether we've got water retention or edema, and you know, there's some severe issues to be dealt with working on. Dark urine's a bit confusing sometimes because your urine can change depending on what you're drinking, and first thing in the morning when you've been resting all night, that breakfast, your urine's always darkest. The very first one should always be very dark. That's your system processing. But from there on in, it should be dictated by what you're doing through that day. If your urine's constantly dark, then you start looking at your liver. So some common liver problems. Hepatitis is a problem we see here in New Zealand. We had a problem many years ago through some misfortune through some of our hospitals. But it's a virus of the liver. It causes inflammation and liver damage, making it difficult for your liver to function as it should. All types of hepatitis are contagious, but you can reduce the risks by taking preventative steps, you know, with safe sex and not sharing those needles, guys. It's no brainer, isn't it, really? Not that we'd be doing this sort of stuff, but it's not just about knives. It could be a knife. You could be cutting some meat up and you cut yourself, and for whatever reason it ends up cutting somebody else the following day even, you know, and these sorts of things can happen. So they're grouped into 5 segments, A to E, and they're pretty based on how they're transmitted. A is spread through contact, through contaminated water. B is through body fluids. C is just through contact again with somebody who has C, and the bottom 2 have gone off the bottom of my screen. So more common liver problems is fluid retention. This is probably a very common sign that people see among their conditions, and this overlaps. Anybody with cardiovascular issues will start to see these sorts of problems because cardiovascular will roll over to liver issues. So this is the most common sign of a liver disease, appearing in about 50% of the people who have psoriasis of the liver, a condition which scars tissue, replaces healthy tissue of the liver. So you can see a normal foot there, and this edema starts to get in, more swelling starts to happen as the tissue starts to leak more fluid. It gets bigger and more tighter. Before you know it, you've got a little bit of an elephant foot happening. Accumulation of fluid may cause distension in your abdomen area or swelling to your legs. This happens when high blood pressure develops in your liver veins, or when your liver is unable to make albumin, a protein that prevents leakage from your bloodstream to your tissues. Okay, so we've got a problem here where the liver is not producing a protein. And so if we don't have this protein is responsible for, I suppose, being the doorman for your cell, stopping fluid from leaving the cell unnecessary. And of course, if there's not enough doorman there, riot happens and everybody just starts to do what they wish to do. And before you know it, water's everywhere and you're swelling up. Okay, so yes, so we need to look at why this happens. You know, we go back to this liver issue. Why isn't the liver functioning? Another problem is psoriasis. Refers to the scarring that results from liver disease and other causes of liver damage, such as alcohol. Alcohol's a big biggie on your liver. You know, alcohol is hard on the system in the first place, and it's that consumption, it's the amount, the volume of alcohol that people put through them that just creates a consistent problem. So your liver can generally regenerate and to respond to damage, but through a lot of pressure, and that scar tissue eventually starts to form. If you keep cutting yourself in the same spot every single time, your body ends up creating scar tissue in that same area. Okay, so just remember, what happens on the outside can happen on the inside. So in the early stage of psoriasis is often treatable and addressed by underlying cause. If left undamaged, it can lead to other complications and life-threatening diseases. So again, we see a beautiful, healthy looking liver. Bet you not too many people have a liver that looks like that. And then you see this, all the nodes, all the fibrous nodes on that liver underneath. Not a very pretty sight. You know, I wish to think that we could all have a healthy liver like that top picture, but the reality is, through years and years of abuse, we end up with this fatty liver or some scarring of the liver, and no longer this prestige. Another common problem is jaundice. That's the yellowing of the skin. You see it in the eyes first. Jaundice is a disease, is the yellowish discolor of the skin, cavernous membrane over the sclera, and other mucous membranes causing a level of erythritol in the blood. So it elevates more proteins. This condition causes dark urine and a yellowish tint to the skin or the whites of the eyes. The eyes, you see somebody who's got that yellowish hue around the eye, around the same, that you know they've got some form of a liver issue, that's jaundice. Acute inflammation of the liver. This may impair the ability of the liver to be able to conjunct or excrete beryllium. I'll get that right. I had practiced some of these words today. Resulted in a build-up. And then we got inflammation of the ducts. This can prevent secretion of bile, so causing more jaundice. And of course, this one at the bottom of the screen I can't quite see. There we go. This prevents the liver from depositing beryllium. So we've got all forms of areas, all focusing around that liver. Okay. Another problem is this fatty liver. This will be the most common, I think, you'll see among most people. If you've had I would call a standard Kiwi life, or sort of any life for that matter, where you've lived off the 5 basic foods, which is, I don't know, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, whatever they are. Anyway, a poor lifestyle. You've loved the bad food list that's been your friend, not your enemy. Okay, you're going to have a liver like this. It's filled up with fatty deposits, and of course, when it's like this, it just cannot function properly. So there are 2 types of fatty liver diseases. There's an alcohol fatty liver disease, which is caused by, of course, you know it, drinking too much alcohol. And of course, we have the non-alcohol fatty liver disease, which of course, guess what? It's not caused by alcohol. Okay, and so these are caused by lifestyle, too much saturated fat, just poor choices in life. So left unmanaged, both these types of fatty liver diseases can cause liver damage, leading to some form of massive failure. Okay, so this is the beginning. These are the precursors. And when we get sluggish liver, we know this is happening. These are the warning signs. These are the alarm bells saying, hey guys, come and fix me. Diets and other lifestyle changes can often improve symptoms and reduce your risk. It is. We see this about most health challenges. Okay, diet and lifestyle changes can often improve these symptoms. When I say often, most of the time. Okay, here's some great tips for supporting your liver. Okay, come up with 10 of them. First one, and they're not in any major order. Okay, I would have, if I had more time, I would have gone into my top, but as they were coming through and I'm making the graphics and everything else, and I'm waffling. So the top 10, as we know them today, we need to eat plenty of vegetables. These are this cabbage family. Your cabbage, your broccoli, those gorgeous little Brussels sprouts, which I love Brussels sprouts. Okay, so we need to eat plenty of these. They contain supporting phytonutrients. So these nutrients are released when they're chopped up or chewed or fermented. Okay, and so these help break down stuff. 2, we need to avoid plastics. Start using your glass, your ceramic. Start using your stainless steel. Plastic contain some form of estrogen that mimics normal estrogen in the body, working to interfere with the balance of normal estrogen in relationship to other hormones. These toxins are in plastics, prone to leaching into what they come into contact with. So it's especially important to remove plastics that come into contact with foods and drinks. So it's time to switch all that out and get glass and stainless steel. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. You need to make sure that you have plastics that don't have these nasty stuff that leach out into them. Remember, some says, oh, it's cold water, but some of these cold waters are left in the sunlight. Plastic heats up, it starts to leach. Okay, so we avoid as much plastic use as possible. What about our skin and makeup? We need to make better choices of our skincare and makeup. And we don't need to go much further than our own mineral makeup, 100% pure, no bromides, no talcs. Anyway, that's another story, another talk. Exposure to chemicals, toxins, and estrogens found in makeup and skin products contribute to our liver overload. We're talking about this in the beginning, that liver overload. Chemicals enter the lymphatic systems and our bloodstream and travel to our liver. Because remember what? The liver is filtering everything. Yes, our skin is an organ. It takes in nutrients. You put water or anything on top of it, it will enter the body in some fashion. It also affects the ability to absorb, store, and use nutrients from foods that can support nutrient hormones. So, it's a no-brainer here. And we also need to support your liver with some great nutrients. Our liver requires adequate nutrients to process toxins out of the body. Vitamin B, selenium, vitamin E are cofactors for these reactions. Okay, but we know this. We know that we just don't have one nutrient. This is why we have the Healthy Start Pack, because it has all of the vitamin Bs, the selenium, the vitamin E. So we don't need to go past our Healthy Start Pack when it comes to looking after your liver. Take a break. This liver overload is just because it's processing stuff over and over again. If you're on a keto diet, your liver's just processing stuff over and over again. Give yourself a break. Go back to real foods. We're talking about a diet briefly for 2 seconds. Go Mediterranean. It's real foods. It's less heavy on your body. It gives you more nutrients. And your body processes a lot better and a lot more efficiently. That was my 2 seconds. Anyway, so supporting the liver. So we need to take a break from coffees and alcohol. Coffee and alcohol are some of the biggest liver loaders. And while your liver is busy detoxifying caffeine and alcohol, it won't have the nutrients to detoxify other substances. Yes, it's going to do the job. Yes, it is going to break it down. Yes, if you have a coffee a day, that's fine, but most people have 2, 3, 4 coffees a day. I hear people have 6 coffees a day. They say they can't function without it. Geez, I wonder why. Okay, we need to drink more herbal teas. This is Mother's nature. This is Mother's medical cabinet. Herbal teas all over the world, people have been drinking teas for thousands of centuries for good reason. Numerous studies have shown that the various varieties of teas boost your immune system and fight off this inflammation, ward off cancer and ward off heart disease. While some provide more health advantages than others, there are plenty of evidence to show drinking teas can help the system. Teas. As a medical herbalist, this is one of our power punches of helping healing the body. Get to enjoy tea. Stinging nettle is a great tea for your kidneys and for your liver. Dandelion tea we talk about, I think somewhere in here. Get to know your liver teas and start drinking them. Bitter is good for liver. Americans have a salad before their main meal, not knowing that the salad actually is a bitter that sets up their digestion. If you ask most Americans regarding that, they wouldn't know why they have the salad first. But yes, it sets up the digestion tract to allow the heavier meal to come afterwards. Now I'm waffling. Again, this is a no-brainer. Eat spray-free products. It doesn't need to have the word organic or certified organic, but we need to go spray-free. Spray-frees, they really muck around this hormone imbalances, but organically grown foods have more vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and micronutrients than commercially grown foods because the soils are nourished. That's right. Haven't killed off the bugs. They're nourished with sustainable farming practices. On average, organically grown foods provide 21% more iron in your food, 27% more vitamin C, 29% more magnesium, and 30% more phosphorus than any other conventional counterpart, i.e. your supermarket food. Okay, we need to eat more real foods. Learn to grow more. Well, one thing longevity has in its arsenal is our blooming minerals and our soil revive. Throw that into your garden. Get out there and enjoy gardens. And even in the city, I'm starting to see people with window box with all their herbs and micro gardens going. Again, put those minerals back into them. So many pesticides and herbicides are highly estrogenic, meaning that they contain extra. I've got to practice that one. That mimic estrogen in the body, which I talked about earlier. We need to eat a lot more fish. We eat far too much red meat in our diet. And I'm guilty as charged here. I know I need to eat a lot less red meat, and I am working on reducing so. I certainly eat a lot less red meat than I used to. So we need to eat fatty fish. And these are cold water fish. So the fats are a lot darker, rather than your warm water fish, just your salmon and your lighter colored fish. They're still good, great protein, still have good oils, you just don't have as much as your real deep colder fish. So a study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology points out that consuming fatty fish and fatty oil supplements may help reduce the impact of such diseases as NADPA. Fatty fish is rich in omega-3 acid, which is a good fat to help reduce inflammation. As we know, Dr. Wallach won that court case regarding essential fatty acid and heart disease, and pointed out many other things, the importance of essential fatty acid. It's up there with oxygen. We need it for lubrication. We need it for healthy blood cells, etc., 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 etc. That's a story all by itself. But we need good quality fat. Okay, and fish is one of the best sources of fat. Then you got things like avocado, and that's another thing. So these fats may be especially helpful in the liver as they appear to prevent the buildup of extra fat and maintain enzyme level for the liver. Okay, so because the liver makes enzyme, has enzyme, breaks down stuff. Another one of my favorites, herbs and spices. These are awesome for the liver. You can't go past your rosemary. You can't go past your oreganos. Herbs have been used for thousands of years and cultures to treat all forms of ailments. It is our early medicine. It is what modern medicine is based on. If you look at most modern drugs, you'll find there is a component of a herb in there somewhere. Okay, remember, they can't patent a herb, so they make a drug with it and patent that, put all their fillers in it, which are all the nasty stuff, and call it a name. Okay, but it started as a herb. So you can sprinkle some herbs on all of your foods, your sandwiches, your roast, whatever. So sprinkle some oregano, some sage, some rosemary, some cinnamon, curry powder, cardamom. These are all good for liver, good antioxidants. Okay. Don't forget your turmeric. Turmeric is brilliant for your liver. We have our own turmeric called Pürmeric because it is pure turmeric. Talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so turmeric, very good. If you're having a turmeric, make sure you have it with a lipid, a fat, coconut fat, or put it with your meaty meal. There's a fat in that. Or make sure you have it with some form of pepper, hot, black pepper. I'm not talking about capsicum pepper. I'm talking about your black and white peppers. Okay, they're good carriers. Helps the turmeric into the body better. So these are all fantastic for the liver, cleansing, and works to up-regulate all three phases of the liver to assist proper cleansing and detoxification. Great herbs. You know, as we talked about, this is herbal teas. So you can have it as a tea. You can have it as a herbal component to your meal. Berries. Berries are another superfood for your liver. So berries such as raspberries, blueberries are rich in antioxidants which can prevent against heart damage, disease, cancer, and liver damage. They're just a power pack of nutrients, you know. To say they're just good for the liver is just not true. They have so many other benefits. They're just rich in nutrients. And there's no isolating one nutrient like pharmaceutical do. We have a whole pack house of nutrients all working. Berries are also thought to prevent excess fibrous connective tissue in the liver. So that's that connective tissue you get when you get cystic fibrosis, not cystic fibrosis, but that fibrous tissue. It stops lesions. Many dark berries, such as blueberries, raspberries, and cranberries, contain extract called polyphenols, which may help protect the liver from damage. So, and just again, more chemicals. We call them chemicals, but they're just nutrients, aren't they? Phytonutrients. Because everything's chemical at the end of the day. Talking about chemicals, here's a bad chemical. Stay away from fatty fats. And we're talking here that the Dr. Wallach, I hate fried foods fats. Okay, stay away from these fats. French fries and burgers are poor choices for your liver. Not just your liver, just for your health in general. You know, every chip is probably a day off your life. Eat too many foods that are high in saturated fats and it can make it hard for your liver to do its job. Constantly trying to break fat down. That's all it's doing. When does it have time to do the other jobs? You know? Over time, it may lead to inflammation, which in turn causes scarring of the liver. That is known as psoriasis. So next time you're in a drive-through, think about ordering a healthier option. If you're part of the 90 for Life program, I would think that this isn't part of your diet anyway. If it is, then I think you're watching the wrong webinars, okay? Because you really need to switch to healthier food. And my recommendation is the Mediterranean diet. It is the healthiest out there. It is real food. Don't overcook your food, okay? So what has longevity got to offer? Well, longevity is always supporting the body. Remember, that's what we do. We don't fix health challenges. They are medical conditions. But what we do is we help the body to repair itself. Why? Because the body has building blocks. These are nutrients that it uses to do things. So longevity has an arsenal of useful supplements that assist the body in recovering. So today we're going to talk about Hope, Pürmeric, good herbs, liver, gallbladder. They're my top 3 of the day. Then we have the Liver Pure Kit, the TrueDetox Tea, Pollen Burst, and of course I don't think we could go past our super greens. Hope. Why is Hope my favorite? Hope is a synergistically formulated to cleanse and purify the blood while helping boost the immune system. This product is a powerful blood purifier and a gift from nature. When this arrived in our arsenal, I was so excited because Longevity didn't really have a true herbal formula or herbal product supplement to help with the liver. We've got lots of liver supporting products with its high nutrients and high antioxidants, etc. Don't get me wrong, we've got a lot of supporting, but when there's issues going on, and you need that bulldozer effect, we really didn't have anything until Hope and the Sta Natural product range came in. And this Hope product's beautiful, and everybody should really be on Hope. So Hope helps relieve gastric, intestinal irritation and many other urinary problems. It helps carry oxygen throughout the bloodstream. Okay, that's a goodie, because remember, we're made up of what our blood can deliver. So if the blood is dirty and feeds us dirty nutrients, as Ben Fuchs says, dirty blood disease, then we're going to constantly be fighting illness. But if we can help get better oxygen, better fuel to the peripherals to where they need to be, then we're going to help fight disease a lot better. I'm not going to go through these nutrients, but as you can see, there is a pile of liver supporting nutrients. My favorite is the slippery elm. There's so much double-blind studies of the ability at how it works with the liver tissue and helps to rebuild liver tissue. Dandelion, again, that makes a really lovely tea. You can have a dandelion root in place of coffee. It's a good coffee replacement, etc. But yes, there's so many. Sheep sorrel, yes, as you see in the Isiac tea, for that cancer tea. So there's some great herbs here. I really recommend you take the dose according to what we always suggest. Remember, 1 dose per 50 kgs of body weight for maintenance, and double your maintenance dose when you've got problems or you're trying to deal with an issue. And this is no different, okay? You've got to have that therapeutic dosing. So a little bit more on now Hope. So the sheep sorrel, it's been known to prevent and spread contagious diseases. We know with sheep sorrel, with the Isiac tea, it can fight against cancer. It's good for menstruational issues, bleeding. It helps carry oxygen through the bloodstream. Burdoc's another great plant. Good liver support, good blood purifier, helps break down excess hormones. So a really good herb. It also decreases the inflammation. Milk thistle, psyllium. So milk thistle is a flowering herb related to the daisy and the ragwort family. Some people call it Mary's milk thistle, or Mary's thistle, or holy thistle. It's a gorgeous plant until you go to touch it, and then it's not so nice. Milk thistle is used as a natural treatment for liver problems. These liver problems include psoriasis, jaundice, hepatitis, and gallbladder disorders. See, it is so specific. There's so much study done on this herb. But again, you got to use things in therapeutic dosing. Slippery elm, you've heard me talk about this in many cases. It's so good for helping with digestion and the lining of your tummy. The slippery elm comes from a tree. It uses the inner bark, so not the whole bark, just the inner scraping of the bark is the part they use for the medicinal. Helps ease irritation and helps heal body tissue, and it helps relieve gastrointestinal irritation and many urinary problems. So like I said, it helps with the mucous membrane. So of your digestion lining, the mucous membrane is going to encourage more mucus. We need mucus, and because the mucus is what protects the acid against the lining of your tissue. Okay, and if that breaks down through whatever form, bacteria, we can form an ulcer. Okay, so we need to keep that integrity going. It also has an anti-inflammatory effect, so it helps reduce inflammation. You can give it to all ages, just give dose based on their size. It has very little flavor. So you can just mix it with anything. If you just mix it with water, it just like a plain gluey thing, goes thick. You leave it in a jar with water, it will just get thicker and thicker like glue. Okay, but these two are very, very two good herbs to start with. So let's talk about our Pürmeric. This is a little bit of a gift from God when Pürmeric arrived. It's part of our Pro range. It's cutting edge science. So as I said, part of that Pro range when we talk about biolayer technology. So our Pürmeric delivers 95% cumuloids. That's the main ingredients of turmeric. It is really easy absorbed by the body. Organic botanics typically have more phytonutrients than non-botanical. We talked about that earlier, and are more beneficial to the body. So this is 95% obtainable because it comes from a plant. Most turmerics we see out there are lucky to be 10 to 20% obtainable to the body. You know, so you pay a lot of money, and if you're throwing 90% of it away, here you spend, yes, we're a little bit dear in the marketplace, but you know 95% of this has been uptaken. That's a pretty good ask. The Pürmeric is made from the highest quality certified organic cumin available, delivering superior antioxidant activity and synergistic phytonutrients. The benefits of turmeric. Turmeric has long-standing history of providing benefits to the body. It has traditionally been used as a Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine as an anti-inflammatory agent to treat the liver problems and skin diseases and wounds, as well as many other things. Now, of course, one of the best ways to have a turmeric is in a turmeric latte with coconut milk. That's be my favorite. Okay, so no milk, get away from dairy. Find a nice quality coconut milk, because not all coconut milks are the same. It took us a little while to find some good quality coconut milks, but when you find a nice quality coconut milk, it's very hard to go away from it. So Pürmeric should be on your shopping list. Next up, we have from Good Herbs, the liver and gallbladder. So this is basically one of our tinctures. It's not our tincture, but it's a medical herbalist type of tincture. It's a liquid herbal extract. So the Good Herbs liver and gallbladder is made with pure, unadulterated, chemical-free, natural herbs that provide liver and gallbladder health. Your liver is a very important organ that produces energy and nutrients for your body to use from good foods to consume, filtering out dangerous substances. So the Good Herbs gallbladder health contains a proprietary blend of organically well-crafted herbs that support the blood flow that in and out of the liver and the overall health of your liver and gallbladder. So it uses a good array of herbs. You'll see these herbs come up again. These are the same as you saw, very similar to see in your Good Herbs range. Here's your milk thistle, there's your rhubarb, there's your dock. They're very similar herbs, but in a liquid format. This is much faster uptake into the body. Now, this is the fastest way you'll take herbal medicines through these liquids, either through the Good Herbs range or through the herbs, liquid herbs you get through our clinic here at the 95 Clinic here in Kihi. Next, the Pure Works is a pure, true to be life, liver pure. So this is a kit that helps you detox. It's one of the better of the kits. I don't like too many detox. I'm not a keen person of detoxing kits. I feel the body has enough detoxing systems. It just needs some helping hand. And adding fat is not probably my cup of tea, but to some people it works, and longevity habits. So it's a safe and effective way to support the ability of your livers and body's chemical factory to detox and to restore itself. And it is. When you go through the ingredients, there's some great ingredients. So it's made up of your vitamin C's, your yucca root, your artichoke, the globe artichoke, your dandelion, and again there's your milk thistle. So there is your main herbs. So you've got a pill which is very similar to your Good Herbs Okay, which is why I tend to stray more for good herbs, because good herbs offer more bang for your buck as far as things go. But this is a good balance as far as a kit's concerned. So yes, so good array of herbs. And then the other part is your oil. So it uses vitamin E, sunflower oil as a capsule. And of course, the third component is lemon. Okay, so you take them based on what the kit says, and then hopefully in the morning you'll excrete the unwanted cholesterol. Okay, but when you see how it works, really all we're doing is feeding the liver, and we're giving ourselves some essential fatty acids. Not very good one at that. So you're better off to go good herbs and EFA plus would be my take on that. You know, the liver, the lemon side itself is very good, because lemon is very good for us. So lemon aids in detoxification. Okay, that's because lemon juice, the aromatic composition is similar to the saliva. So the chemical structure of lemon is very similar to saliva, and it sort of mimics, it tricks the body into thinking it's saliva. And so it tricks the body into producing bile. When its saliva gets made up in the mouth, there's a chemical reaction which says to the liver, make bile. And so when we start to consume lemon, that sensation is instant, and we start producing bile. So it's a good little trick. So you hear us talk about drinking a lot of lemon. The animal studies have shown that the citric acid found in lemon water has also been shown to protect liver function and prevent oxidation damage, helping to preserve the liver natural ability to detoxification. Remember that we talk about a detox. Isn't it funny? You've got a detoxifier. You know, your liver is the detoxifier. We just need to make sure that the liver is functioning, and it just doesn't start at the liver. It starts here. Make better decisions of what we put in our mouth. Then use those better decisions wisely and start to eat your food better. Look at your digestion, getting all that working properly, because in turn, that's where your liver will make or break. Okay? So we start at the beginning. When everybody says, oh, where do we start looking after my liver? Where do we start? Make better decisions. Get rid of those bad 12 foods. Look at how foods have been broken down, enzymes, etc., flora, you know, the healthy digestion pack, etc. So we have another great product, teas. Remember, I talked about teas, herbal teas. Well, we got one called TrueDetox Teas. It's a blend of, as you know, some good old famous liver herbs. Let's see. So we've got some ginger, some chamomile, some peppermint. So this is more of a calming, relaxing the liver, feeding the liver. Pollen Burst, Liver Burst. So this is, again, just feeding the liver. Pollen Burst formula is a proprietary blend of extracts from organically grown flower pollen, specially formulated to promote a healthy liver. So we're using pollen. It's got SODs, which is superoxide dimester, which is a really good antioxidant. You'll see it in quite a few of our foods, and it's also got aloe vera as well. So it's healing from the inside. A really great one just to add. And last but not least, we talked about it in our talk about how we need good fruits and vegetables. We know the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is made up of fruits and vegetables, but we have a product that is just vegetables, super greens, fruits and vegetables. It is just dried fruits and vegetables. It is a powerhouse, you know, full of antioxidants, full of rich foods. It's got your cabbages, it's got your broccoli. It's, you know, it's got all of those cabbage families, what we need. So organic fruits and vegetables are combined with the power of live probiotics and enzymes to create a nice, tasty, nutritional drink. Beneficial fibers, it's got some great enzymes, raw antioxidant foods, organically fermented green coffee beans. So that's those coffee beans we grow. Wow, there we go, guys. That was a lot of information, and it was just the scratch of the surface when it comes to liver knowledge. Now, before I roll into the aroma oils for the next part of our talk, I would like Sally to join us, because Sally, most of you know, has been working with liver function now for many years and has become our liver expert, as well as our 90 for Life clinician down under. So Sally, you see me put this together today, and over through this evening, you've been whispering in my ear, have I had done this, have I got that? So now is your chance just to come through, give your professional opinion, just where would you take what I've said today? I know you have a slightly different twist on being a vegan and doing stuff. So can I have your 10 cents worth, please, Sally?
Hi. My 10 cents worth.
Okay, make it $1.20.
Karen mentioned actually a great thing, and that's bringing it into essential oils. So one of the reasons that we don't ingest our essential oils is because it's hard on the liver. And in fact, what happens is you take that essential oil and it goes to the liver and turns it into something else. So not only is it hard on the liver, but it actually takes away its action on the body. The liver is amazing in how it does digest things, and everything that you eat, breathe, touch, your liver has to process for your body. So we do take that for granted and very easily. And one of the biggest things that we have in our diets that is hard on the liver is fat. That's why the first damage that a doctor will tell you that they can see that your liver is damaged is it's got fatty liver. So by ingesting more fat, you are clogging it up even further. So there's my 2 cents.
So Sally, many people say, what sort of foods and drinks can you do to help support your liver? I believe you have a good recipe that you share with people.
Lots of fresh fruit and vegetables. So juicing is great, and smoothies are great. But the other thing too that accumulates in your liver is heavy metals. So and they accumulate in your organs. So whether that be predominantly your liver and your brain actually is where heavy metals do accumulate. So I've got a heavy metal smoothie which I'm quite fond of. And the other one is juicing celery too. That's so yes. Would you like to hear the smoothie? I don't know. Do we have time? We don't really. Quickly. So my favorite smoothie that I like is 2 cups of blueberries, a handful of coriander, 2 tablespoons of barley grass greens, 1 teaspoon of spirulina, and a teaspoon of dulse. Now dulse is D-U-L-S-E. It's a seaweed, and those ingredients together will help open the liver up and remove heavy metals out of your organs and into your bowel, and you excrete them out. You mix that with 2 bananas and a couple of oranges and a little bit of coconut water. And that should last you a good part of the morning.
Okay, we've got a question here. What essential oils are good for the liver, not to digest, but to apply?
Carrot seed is one. Lemon is amazing. That you just saw. Sam's put up a text. But lemon essential oil is amazing. What was it? 1 drop per, is it litre or 2 litres?
4 litres.
4 litres, and you drink that a whole day. 4 litres. That's a lot. But if you can do it, then it's great. Yeah. Because also the more fluid that you take in to your body, the thinner you make your blood, which makes it easier for your liver to detox. I wouldn't drink 4 litres though, but in a day, but that is a lot. And if you can do that, then good. But that would be the maximum that you'd drink, that's for sure.
Okay, and another question goes back to your heavy metal drink. How often would you take that?
Every morning. Have it for breakfast.
Drink still water puts heavy metals in. It certainly can.
Distilled is supposed to remove it. That's Leanne's one of her favourite methods for removing heavy metals is distilled.
Yes, evaporating it and then catching it and drinking it off again. Yeah. You when you do that, look at all the rubbish left at the bottom. Just like when you boil it off in a pan. It's amazing how much rubbish is still left in your water. Oh, that was excellent. So now let's move on to our essential oils for the month. And I'd just like to reintroduce our lovely Down Under girls. You've already seen and talked to Sally Muir, but we've also got Karen Chungman from Australia also joining us to share her oil of the month. And so this month it's Birds of a Feather. And we're talking about one called Sunny. I'm not even going to go. It's not my job to go what Sunny's about, but it looks very citrusy. And we have another one called, Sally will help me on that one. Helichrysum. Did I get that right? So there are two for the day. So I think without further ado, I would like to introduce Karen. Karen, come on in.
Right. Hi, everyone. I'm going to start off the aroma share today, and as Kevin said, it's Sunny and Helichrysum, and I'm going to talk about Sunny. Now, we had Sunny a couple of years ago, actually, in our aroma share, and I really didn't know what it was for, and I've always diffused it. That's all I've ever known to do with it. It's got a beautiful smell. It's actually made up of orange, grapefruit, and lemon. So this is actually another oil that is actually good for your liver and your kidneys as well. So this sort of ties in with Kevin's talk, this one does. And since getting it in this month's aroma share, I've learned a bit more about it. Not much more, but a bit more. And I must say before I go on that this is one aroma share that you probably really should get. You can't even buy, and I've actually had a look while Kevin was talking, you cannot buy Sunny on its own. And Helichrysum is $107 on its own, okay? So with the aroma share, if you buy it on your order ship, you're paying $65 and or $74 if you're just buying it in your order. And that's still cheap compared to what, $107 for Helichrysum on its own, and you cannot buy this. So this is October. So if they've got any more Octobers left in the warehouse, I'd be getting yourself a couple. But anyway, that's what that is. And it's, as I said, it's made up of orange, grapefruit, and lemon. It is good for your kidneys and your liver. And the main purpose of Sunny is to increase energy. Okay, it's a great diffuser as well because it's a citrus, but it also increases energy. If you do apply it on your skin, to give you that energy, just make sure that you don't go into the sunlight, because if you put it anywhere, any citrus fruit, whether it's grapefruit, orange, lemon on its own, you can't put it directly on your skin, because if you go outside, you'll get a sunburn, you even might get blistered. So you have to make sure that it's hidden, or you go out 12 hours after. So yeah. So anyway, besides those two, besides it being giving you energy, it's also antiseptic, it's antibacterial, and it's an antidepressant. So with that in mind, if you had one of our longevity thingies, you can necklaces, you can actually put it in here if you like, and even if you're feeling, for depressed people, it's a good way of walking around with and sniffing it. If you're suddenly feel a bit down, give this a sniff. And it's antiviral. So it's one that you probably could put on your feet if you feel a virus coming on, a little attack the virus. So it stimulates the immune system, so it's a good immune booster as well. And as I said before, it stimulates and cleanses the liver and kidneys. So yeah. And also too, because it has lemon and orange in it, you could actually use it as a spray and wipe. So you just put it with water, so many drops, depending on what size spray you're going to have, and you could actually use it as a natural spray cleaner for your bathroom and your kitchen. So that's one way that I would actually like to use it. I haven't done it, but after reading that, I'm going to do that. And as I said, diffuse it is beautiful. Got a beautiful smell, so diffuse it around your house. It's just beautiful. And as this year and this month it's all about animals, Leanne's done some bird recipes, because this Sunny is one oil that is good for birds. And I know there is one lady in the house here that's got birds. Well, I think you still got birds, haven't you, Mum? So this is a good one for you. It's because it's very, very good for birds. You can actually, I've got a recipe here where if you put in a 16-ounce bottle with one drop, and I mean, you're talking how big a 16-ounce bottle would be, with one drop of Sunny, that's all you need, because birds are still sensitive even though it's an oil. And you can use it to spray their cage without affecting them and having them drop dead on you. So and another thing that birds are very, very that you can use around birds is rose geranium, lang lang, lavender, rose, jasmine, and the citrus oils, bergamot and lime, and other oils are frankincense and helichrysum, is what Sally's going to be talking about. But for birds, you really need to avoid all the really rich, high-smelling oils like tea tree, peppermint, eucalyptus, and the pines, and clove, oregano, and cinnamon. So you really don't want to use any of those oils around birds, or you will kill them. So as I said, this Sunny there's not much to say about Sunny. So that's really me. So it's a very, very lovely oil, and I would definitely get this in your aroma share this month. So hope that was informative, and I will put you over now to Sally.
The Helichrysum is Leanne's first choice for nerve regeneration, circulation. Recent studies show a possible link to heart attack prevention as well. It's an amazing oil. It's got the other virtues include reducing the effect of insect bites, the development and appearance of scars and stretch marks. Many studies have shown it to be effective in treating emotional issues such as stress and mental fatigue. Helichrysum is also found in our trauma blend, which is great for most pain. Tried and true uses, it's the best choice for relief from injuries to the skin. It's fantastic for shingles. Used in low doses, it helps with rosacea, red blotchy skin, and blue and purplish coloured acne. Also adds moisture to dry skin. Has the ability to reduce inflammation, strengthen arteries, and relieve hemorrhoids. More powerful than lavender for burns. So yeah, you can also apply this neat on burns, the same as lavender. It relieves restless legs, and it's also a miracle for sore backs. Relieves itching, reduces swelling, disinfects, and promotes healing from insect bites. It's able to calm nervous exhaustion and stress-related disorders. It's also great for ringing in the ear or tinnitus. Its properties include it's analgesic, anti-hematoma, so that it clears accumulation of blood or blood clots. It's antiseptic, antispasmodic, which means it relieves spasms. It's astringent, so it tightens tissues and reduces all secretions. It's a nervine, which means it's strengthening or calming to the nervous system. It's tonic. And it strengthens and fortifies. The key emotions is it's healing, restorative, unifying, empathetic, and initiative. It blends well with rose geranium, neroli, palmarosa, bergamot, to name a few. What else? Safety notes, it's non-toxic, non-irritating, and non-sensitizing. It is a bit of a blood thinner, so be careful if you use blood thinners, and avoid after surgery. And we've got a recipe for a gentle bath, and that's you take a 120 ml jar and some of our Dead Sea salts, about 60 grams, and 10 drops of Longevity Helichrysum. Pop the 60 grams of the Dead Sea salts and the 10 drops of Helichrysum into your jar, shake it up 50 times, and then put another 60 grams in and shake it up another 50 times. And you'd use half of that per bath, and your skin will feel just amazing. And so will your nervous system as well. So, and have a good soak in there for 20 minutes, and you'll come out brand new. That's Helichrysum. And I'll pass you back to Kev.
Oh, that's excellent, Sally. Thank you so much for that. Always a wealth of information, peer reviews are. So do you know what we've got stored for next month? What do people need to go out and order so they can be ready for next month? Karen?
I can tell you that in a minute, if you just give me a minute.
Do we have any questions on this while Karen's working out what's next month's aromatherapy oils are? Any questions on what Sally had to say?
No, next month is, we've got a few. So next month, so you want to go out and buy it, so we're ready for our talk next month. Ginger, dill, fennel, and coriander. And I love coriander. I'm going to be talking about coriander and fennel. So that's ginger, dill blend, fennel, and coriander. So you're getting 4 oils for that price. So that's really good.
Well, that's awesome value. And that's going to be a lot of information next month as well. Good grief. Look forward to that. Has anybody seen that question? How would you use the oils for rosacea?
So yeah, that was the Helichrysum. You would use 60 mils and 6 drops. So you'd need a carrier oil of jojoba or apricot oil or avocado oil, and you'd pop 6 drops of your Helichrysum in there, give it a good shake up, and use it as a moisturizer afterwards, or even just as a dab on once you've cleansed and toned, and it'll help to take the sting out. So yeah, you could actually 6 to 12 drops actually in your 60 mils.
What's good?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Sam. Just another question came through: is what's good for nits?
Tea tree.
Yeah, there's more than that, but tea tree's definitely one.
I'll just look up in the book. Like Leanne says, we don't know everything, so we go straight to the book and have a look. And for lice or nits,
I think rosemary's another one.
You
show us the book, Sam? Can you hold the book up so that everyone can see?
Actually, I'm actually looking. I printed it off so I could write. It's not under lice. It's under. Now I'm going to.
Please show you the book.
Yeah, I've got
You
it
still
here.
have to show it, yeah, because
Can you see it?
I've printed it off.
Yeah.
Kevin, can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to ask Tony. She asked a question. What was in the chat section? She asked about what was good for the liver, but not taken internally. And my question to Tony is, what colour is her eyes?
Yeah. What colour are your eyes, Tony?
They green.
Brown.
Okay, for head lice, It's tea tree, lavender and chamomile, eucalyptus radiata, thyme, CT linalool, fennel, patchouli, lemon, lemongrass, cedarwood, ginger, pinyon pine, and balance of life.
You
Are
wouldn't
the
need all
oils
of
from it.
those. You wouldn't
Yeah,
need
you
all
can
of
use
those.
any
though.
one of those.
Mm.
But I would look at your eye colour before you pick one of those.
Blue has
So
come up.
if Tony could tell us what colour her eyes are, we could tell her which
Blue.
oils that she would use.
Bluey colour, looking at that, she said. Eyes.
Because there are a lot of oils that you can use that can go across all eye colours, but there are some that are really good for a particular, like in my case, I'm a brown. What is good for me is carrot seed, green mandarin, cypress, tones the liver. Orange is a stimulant for the liver. Yes, so, but that's, and black pepper is good for a sluggish liver, but that's not necessarily going to be good for someone with a blue eye or mixed eye.
So
So
what if it
what
was
if-
blue?
Pardon me?
What if it was blue?
If it was blue, you would be using, let me see, I'm looking back at the book again.
I can't see anything for liver for blue eyes.
Yep.
Top 10 for blue
Grapefruit.
eyes. Yeah,
It
grapefruit.
talks about grapefruit is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Grapefruit.
Would
Because
be your go-to for a blue eye.
yeah,
And for a green eye, person, for a liver would be, we're again looking back at our book.
in a hurry.
Yep.
Putting you on the spot now, girls.
Yep.
Well, it's just got so much to read.
Yeah, okay. So this is all of that same book, Foundation of Aromatherapy?
Yep. And
Yeah.
you can download it at Leanne's website for free. So you can go in there and look at the, because in our course, we're actually learning iridology, Karen, Sally and I.
So that's leanne.com, eh?
Yep, Leanne King. If you just go leanneking.com, and actually something I learned in the November Mega Maker Takeathon today about an oil that Sally was talking about was Helichrysum, is that it's really good for ringing in the ear. If you've got tinnitus, yeah, it's really good for that. So anyway, enough said from me.
Yes, enough. Oh, awesome, girls. That's great news. Well, it's getting pretty late now. Unless there's another question.
Sorry, Kevin. Could I just mention, actually, Sam, if you look at rose geranium, that's to do with mood swings and hot flushes and menstrual cycles, which is also part of the liver. So maybe rose geranium. But just wanted to say to people, if anyone's wanting to do this course, you've got till the 7th of November, and you've to do it for $177 US. That was her coronavirus price. And it's 177 American. It finishes on the 7th, and she's upping it back to her normal price of 2,000.
It's 2,700. So
2,700.
it's a really good deal for $177.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good deal. That is a good deal. Okay, I'm going to bring the show to an end. It's coming up to nearly 20 past 10 over here. Everybody's falling asleep. So I'd like to thank you so much for coming and sharing your thoughts and sharing our time today. I'll be back again same time next month with another great topic yet to be announced. So again, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye for now.
Night, everybody. Night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye.